Hi guys, it's Stuart here from Airshow World, and thanks for joining me today on this tutorial for a prerequisite for the Whistler digital scanner radios. Thanks for joining me, and also I'd like to say thanks to Moonraker radios for sponsoring Airshow World with these latest video tutorials that we're going to be doing. We're going to be covering quite a few different features over the next few weeks and months, so keep tuned to us. Certainly consider subscribing and clicking that button that says get notifications. Okay, so Whistler scanners, that's what we're talking about. You guys thinking of getting one? Well, you're in the right place right now to get some pointers, things that I've found out about them. So hey, this is how my radio turned up, all nicely boxed up. I'm not going to do an unboxing video or anything silly like that. What I'm going to do is something a lot more practical. I'm going to show you how I use the radio. Okay, so let's move along. Okay, so this is what basically the radio looks like. This one is the TRX2. They do a handheld version as well. Okay, and notice this little bit here where that slightly thinking that actually this frontage comes off, so you could mount it somewhere else, and also comes with a mounting bracket as well that you could put it in your car or whatever. And you take this frontage off by just clicking a little button just there. Easily comes off, and it's it's pretty good. The back of the radio comes with a telescopic aerial. Yeah, it comes with a bracket to let it sit nicely on your desktop. And so this is what the radio looks like when that frontage has been taken off. Okay, so basically what we have here, there's a little socket just here where a network cable goes in here, and that's supplied as well with the radio, and that's what connects to the frontage of the radio. So if you wanted to have this taken off, you wanted to have this mounted hidden away somewhere, and you wanted the frontage somewhere else, yes, cable in there, other end into the frontage, and you'd be able to use it remotely like that. Quite a good feature. I like that. And here, and they're the two magnets. Yep, don't worry about magnets being on there. It doesn't affect the radio reception at all. Okay, the SD card. It comes with a 4 gig SD card. We shall talk about those in just a minute. But anyway, that sort of goes in there. That's the, if you like, the hard drive, if you want to think about it that way. That's what makes everything work. That's where all the software is for your radio. That's how it all runs. So think of it as being like this unit being like a computer, that being like a hard drive. Okay, think about it that way. Okay, over here you've got your headphone output. That also doubles up for a raw output to be able to have raw data going from your radio. You can alter it from headphones and normal sound that's been decoded by the radio, or you could, if you wanted, you could have it outputted as raw data going into a computer, just like you would with some radios have a discriminator tap. It's exactly the same sort of thing. Okay, why would you want to do that when the radio actually does it all for you? Well, you may want to have it running with a computer. That's just, it's just a nice feature that it's got an extra one. Okay, USB cable socket just there. It comes with a USB cable obviously as well, and the I recommend you guys, I actually got mine from Moonraker radios down in Luton, as I mentioned at the beginning of the tutorial. They actually provide an adapter to go with this radio. I know some guys I've read on some of the Facebook groups, they've actually got the radio, unpackaged it, excited, wanted to get it to run, can't get it to work straight away because they haven't had the actual power cable for it to run, because it comes with a United States, because it's a USA radio, so it doesn't come with the actual, from a lot of suppliers, doesn't come with the actual adapter. Moonraker always put in an adapter, so it will work as soon as you get it and it'll work on the United Kingdom system because it comes with the adapter plug. Okay, less of that waffle. Let's move on and see what we were talking about next. Okay, I mentioned that it comes with a 4 gig card. Yep. SD card which slots in there. It comes with a 4 gig. Why am I showing a 16 gig? Well, the first thing I did when I got my radio is, and I recommend you guys probably do this as well, it's your own choice whether you do it. Some people may just think, nah, waste of time, why bother? I'll explain why I did what I am going to suggest. Right, so while I was waiting for my radio to turn up, I ordered a 16 gig card, basically so I could get more recordings on there, because the radio records the actual when it picks up frequency or whatever. You can choose in the options to record, and that's what I do. I tend to record everything, and that will hold lots of recordings. Right, that's a good reason to do it. But not just that. The first thing that I did when I got my radio, okay, I didn't power it up. This is just personal preference. I didn't power it up. What I did, I got the original card that comes with the radio. I put it into my computer and I made a backup of that original card. Okay, I then took that card out and then put that card somewhere safe where I wouldn't lose it. Now, why are you going to do all of that? Well, it is possible at some point, and if you've read on some Facebook groups and forums or whatever, occasionally, and I've had this problem as well, right? I'm not saying it's a problem with the radio, I'm not saying it's a problem with the software or anything like that. It's as computers being computers, they can get corrupted, just like a hard drive can fail or anything else. Yeah, it's good to have a backup. Yeah, and also chances are when you get your radio, it's probably been on the shelf for a few months. Yeah, so it's got the old software on. Yeah, because the original radios with the card, the 4 gig card, comes with the software on there. The software that I'm going to show you in a minute to use. But as I say, chances are a few months old, it's out of date, because they've come up with quite a few new updates for this radio. Another feature I like, they keep updating it. Excellent. Okay, so get yourself a 16. This is what I'd do. Get a 16 gig card, right? Back up the original card. Put it somewhere safe. Okay, then get your new card. Put it into your computer, card reader, whatever you've got. Okay. Then what I would suggest that you do is go across to, there we go, there's one of my Facebook pages. Okay, Moonraker, that's a recommended site that I would use, and thank you to Moonraker for helping us out being able to do these tutorials. Okay, so on all of my tutorials, as I'm sure you know by now, I include direct link downloads to be able to save you time, save you having the hassle of Googling things. You can get straight to these links. So what you will do is click on, we're going to download some software. Okay, so my radio is the TRX2. All of these steps are applicable to all of their other Whistler scanners. Okay, TRX1, that's the handheld version. We've got the TRX2. Okay, but all of these steps can be used for both. Okay, so that's the model we actually want. Let's give that a quick refresh so we can get there. Okay, here's the download page. So, download. There we go. Alright. So this is the download page. So there's your software. And so I would suggest downloading that. That will give you the very latest software that I'm going to show you in just a second. I'm not going to show you how to use the software. That's in another tutorial. Okay, actually, as part of the package of the download, when you install the program, it will install the drivers automatically. If you needed the drivers at a later date, they are just here. There's also a direct download link to the firmware. You don't have to do it that way. I'm going to show you a way from the software to do it, but if you needed the firmware, it is there. If you need the old firmware, the Facebook group on the Whistler UK group has it in the files section. There's also a remote control for the actual radio. Okay, it's called Remote Control Demo. makes me think they're going to do a better version of it in the future, which would be very welcome. Okay, so I'm assuming you've downloaded those, yeah, and installed the program, and here is the Easy Scan software. Okay, and what you can do from here, yes, you put all your frequencies in. As I just said, I'm not going to explain how to do any of that. See my other tutorials. This is to show you guys how to get up and running, right, in the safest way possible without any problems. Okay, so you've in your card reader, computer, whatever, right, you've got that SD card in there. Yeah, do not do this, what I'm going to show you now, do not do this with your 4 gig card that comes with it. I'm assuming you've put that somewhere safe like I recommended. Okay, so you've got a brand new SD card. Okay, if it is a brand new SD card, what you would do, you click on prepare scanner memory SD card. Okay, that gets the card all ready and configured in the first instance to be able to use. Okay, you would click on that and it would come up with this little box here to format it and then copy all of these things there. Okay, yeah, I'll let you read that in your own sweet time. Okay, right, back to business. So I am assuming that you've seen the other tutorial, you've got your frequencies, you've been typing them in, or which is a long way of doing it. If you look at my tutorials, I will show you the easy and quick ways of getting your frequencies, all of these sort of things, to your scanner within a matter of minutes. You can have your radio up and running. Okay, so go through those. Okay. And once you have done all of that, and you've got frequencies and configurations that you want to send to that SD card, you want to make that radio work, well, I'm going to show you what to do. Okay, so what you do, click on copy configuration to scanner memory card. Okay, that will send that information to the actual SD card. Okay, get that done. It can also be done directly via the radio. You could have the radio connected, and I'm going to show you that in just a moment. Okay, so I'm assuming though at the moment you are doing this with the SD card connected into the card reader. Okay, if for example you were doing this via and you didn't have a card reader, right, you would put that SD card back into your radio. Okay, show you. Next one please, in there. Okay, and if you were doing it that way, you would make sure that before you plug your USB cable in here and into your computer, you would make sure that you have powered off. It can be plugged in, but power off the radio. Do not connect it when it's powered up. Okay, it could, I'm not saying it will, but it could corrupt the card. Okay, so make sure that's powered off. That's the way to make sure you always do this. Okay, so once you've done that, you could then send exactly the same way, yeah, by clicking on that copy configuration to scanner memory card. That will copy all of the folders that are stored on your computer. Okay, I'm not going to go into too much details about that. The full details are on my other tutorials. Okay, so that will send the data across if you're going to do it that way. I do recommend though, if you can, using the method for having an SD card in a card reader. It goes so much faster. Okay, it's much faster. Okay, if you are going to do the firmware upgrades, well, yes, then I do recommend, well, I believe it's the only way you can do it. You make sure that your scanner is, just like I just said, connected to your computer. with the power off. Yes, the button must be off. Then, if you went across here, right, and everything was talking to that radio, you would know it was talking because you would hear the radio making noises, and you'd see a little box coming up showing that you've got folders on there, whatever. Anyway, back to what we were talking about, and this is updates. So let's go across. So yes, click on that, or you could check for all updates. Okay. Now, for us guys in the United Kingdom, you do not need that, and you do not need that. That's only if you're in the United States. Okay. You do not need those two. It could confuse you, so don't have those selected. Okay, so I'm assuming you've got the latest PC application because you've just installed it. Yeah, so you could take the tick out of that as well. Yeah, and these are the two we're interested in. So you'd say OK, and it would go off to the internet. Obviously, if you needed to be connected to the internet, it would go off to the internet and it would have a look. Yes, it would go, oh right, well this is the version you've got at the moment. We've got an update. So it would then give you the option to be able to upgrade your actual scanner. Yeah, and it would come up with instructions, and what it would do, you would click on OK, yes. I'm not going to show you how to do this at the moment, right? But it would you just follow the on-screen instructions. It's so simple to do. Right? It would automatically put your radio into a mode that will accept the firmware upgrade, and away it would go. Right, and it would go through, and it would upgrade your actual scanner. Okay, if you had a problem halfway through, something went wrong with your computer, it lost connection or whatever, things that can happen with computers. Yeah, this is the point why I'm saying it's a good idea to use a different SD card, because these things can go wrong. They've happened to me. And if you've just bought that nice new radio and then you power it back up, and it goes, oh, error, will not work, cannot load, can't start, error 2, error 4, whatever the error codes are, it can be a real big panic. And if it's your nice new shiny radio that you spent all that money on, it can panic you a little bit. But if you've got that spare SD card, you go, so what? What's the problem? Boom, put that one in. Not saying that's going to happen, but it has happened to a few people in the past. Nothing wrong, nothing to do with, I don't think, the actual software, and I don't think anything to do with the radio. It's just how computers work sometimes. USBs you could actually accidentally pull the cable out. Yeah, anything can happen like that. So yeah, that's the main reason I'm saying. First thing, back up your original SD card. Okay. I hope I've made that perfectly clear to you guys. Remember, this is only my thoughts. Other people may disagree, but we're not really worried about that. This is what I've found, and also from reading what other people have said on the forums and Facebook groups. Okay, other features you could have. As you probably know, this radio does have a clock on, so if you've got it connected to your computer via the actual cable, you could send the time just by clicking that. It would automatically send the computer time to the radio, so you don't have to manually configure it. Okay, what else have we got? I know there's one little thing I wanted to cover for you guys. So that's the option for sending your configuration to the card, as we've just mentioned. But say for example you've been out in the field all day and you've got lots of new frequencies, things that you've picked up in the daytime. Yeah, you might want to copy those back from your SD card. Well, what you would do, you would select that option. Okay, use a little bit of caution here. Think about what you're going to do before you do it. Okay, because remember, if you copied from your card, say there was very little on there, yeah, and you hadn't already sent the configuration to the card, right, what you could end up doing is overwriting everything that you've already done on your computer. All of this work here, say you've been typing away all this or importing the actual frequencies, which I'm not going to show you how to do import of frequencies at the moment, or even how to use Easy Scan. Look at the other tutorials, it explains everything. I'll show you the quick and easy way to get all these frequencies in. You can be up and running in literally minutes. Saves having to type anything. Okay, back to where we were. So use caution there. I wouldn't want you guys just to click that and overwrite what you've done on your computer. Okay, only do that if you've got different information. You know you've got even different information on your scanner that you've picked up. Okay, so you can do that. But there's the important one, to send to it. Okay. Also, you can download the remote control scanner. Basically what that is, it's a little device so that when your radio is connected, obviously in that instance, that's where you need the scanner switched on. And if you want to have a view of what that looks like, most days on my Airshow World YouTube channel, on the first page you'll see there's live streams, and most of the time I've got my live stream running for the Whistler TRX2, and you'll get a good view of what the actual remote software looks like, but also you'll get to hear the radio comms and see what the radio's picking up, and it sounds pretty good. You know, I'd recommend that. So I think that just about draws this tutorial to an end. This is the prerequisites for that leads in to all of my other tutorials. I think we've got about 8 tutorials that really starts from the basics and starts to build through to the more advanced features. Certainly go through those. It will make life so much easier for you to use these radios. Okay, different ways of doing things. I have to reiterate, this is how I do things. I'm not saying it's the right way or the wrong way, it's just how I do them. I'd like to say a big thanks to Chris at Moonraker Radios in Luton, United Kingdom, for helping me to be able to create these tutorials, and with their help, it means that over the next few weeks and months I'll be able to produce and show you guys how to use a lot more of the features of different radios. We've got several features coming up in the very near future. I'll be showing you very, very soon how to and also I'll be doing a review of the handheld version of this particular radio. I hope it was useful to you guys. Don't forget there's an option to subscribe to Airshow World. I really appreciate if you do that. It all helps. And if you do subscribe, there's an option that says get notifications. If you do that, you'll always find out when I've got a new video out there, and you'll always be updated. And we've got something like approaching 500 different videos, tutorials, but mainly airshow videos, and lots of different aircraft videos, such as low-fly aircraft, you name it, all sorts of things, as well as all of the live streams that I have running every day. So once again, many thanks for joining me today, and have yourself a great day. Thank you.